So I know we're only less than 2 weeks from Election Day. Early voting is already underway in Arizona. And although many voters already know you, may have already cast their ballot for you, I always love to ask every candidate on the show, please briefly tell me about your background.
Well, I am a candidate for Congress here in the swing district here in southern Arizona. I ran for this district during the midterm elections, missed winning by one of the closest margins in the country. I'm a teacher, an educator, teach at the University of Arizona. That's what brought me to Arizona 20 years ago with my then infant daughter for a job here at the University of Arizona. And I first ran for elected office as a mom, fighting for funding for our public schools and our teachers. Served in the Arizona legislature for 5 years, fighting with colleagues from across the aisle on everything from education funding to working on our water issues, to working on jobs for people here in southern Arizona. So I'm running again after narrowly losing before. We've got a ton of energy on the ground. I think people are really fed up with the extremism and the dysfunction that they've been seeing in Congress. They're looking for somebody with a practical bent, a bipartisan practical bent, and that's what defines my experience and what I'd like to do for Southern Arizona, from protecting reproductive freedoms to working on our water crisis and lowering costs.
Mhm. Another question that I always love to ask, especially women and mothers, is what inspired them to run? And I know you touched on that a little bit earlier about school funding. That was something that was important to you. But was there a moment, was there someone, because there's always a statistic, who knows if it's true or not, but it gets thrown around that women have to be asked at least 5 or 6 times to run, and men maybe just once by someone they barely know. But was there a pivotal moment for you where you were like, I'm gonna run for state government?
There was a pivotal moment. I was volunteering in my daughter's school, her public school here, and the legislature and our Republican governor at the time had just really been slashing funding for our public schools. Um, I was seeing it in my job actually at the university. But I had this moment when I was sitting in, one of those little chairs that they have in classrooms during one of these meetings of a volunteer board that I was on. And, the school could not afford money for a school field trip. I believe it was to the Science Museum. And I just thought, this is wrong. We are really robbing our kids of their future. And this is not leadership. This is not protecting our community and educating the next generation of leaders. And so that's what really got me off. And I decided, I can also bring my environmental expertise, that's my area, to the legislature. So that's when I decided to first run for office.